Survivor Season 42, Episode 11. Welcome to Mirror Domains, and this is my full live watch-along for Survivor Season 42, Episode 11. Now, guys, I've decided to put my foot down, and I know that I said I was going to reorder the episodes because of the double episode, so it's going to be officially Episode 11 because of when I went on the Canadian site, it's being listed as episode 11. And if you haven't done one of these live watch-alongs with me before, you know, well, I can't show you the entire image here on the side. But I will do my best to give you guys time codes. I'll let you guys hear some of the sounds at times. And when it comes up to certain things like the Tribal Council, the challenges, I'll put time codes for you guys in the description for you to follow along with me. And let's just start off the episode, which usually starts off with the fallout of the previous Tribal Council. All right, so I'll just hit play and we will get underway.
That was
Whoops.
the best Tribal Council ever. I couldn't believe that I actually picked the right box.
Okay, so let me just check everything, make sure that everything is kosher. So Drea went home last night, and there's Lindsay. And Drea asked Mike if he's got the idol, but Omer said that Drea has that reward, so they played her. So Lindsay's happy with that outcome. Yeah. So Lindsay's just saying right now that now her amulet that she had the 3 parts of is now an immunity idol that she has to use at 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people left. So she has to use it tonight. No matter what happens in the challenge this episode, Lindsay will be safe.
Is right where I want it because he
So
sees me as his
there's
savior
Omer.
in the game. Like,
And Omer was the one that planted the idea for Mike to get rid of Hai. So Omer has Mike wrapped around his little finger right now. And now Omer is saying that he wants to pit Mike against Jonathan.
Great move, buddy. Great move on your part.
And he's saying Mike or Jonathan is out. And Romeo is just kind of like riding the coattails here. So I think Romeo might end up being in the final 3. Just kind of as the person that's there, that didn't do any big moves. People bring people like that to the final.
at the end at this point, so I get it. I would try and cut me loose too.
So Mike is saying that Omer doesn't want him in the finals because Mike is too likable. So Mike has got a little bit of a big head. I guess I can relate to that.
So, I would love to take him out to
So Mike wants to get Omer. So Mike is starting to catch on to Omer. Bifer in the live chat says, I'm ready for your reactions. Cool. Bifer also says, I placed a large bet to Omer to win the season. Well, he can. If he gets in the final 3, his case is pretty clear cut because Jonathan doesn't have really any big moves. Romeo doesn't have any big moves. Mike maybe does. Marianne doesn't really. But Lindsay and Mike will be the 2 big people from Omer to win. So
the jury saw was Omer just go from a caterpillar to a...
So even Marianne here is getting on to the fact that Omer has been pulling all of the strings here.
have people that you trust. But the people that you trust, if you know they can beat you, you have to do something.
Yeah, that's good advice. So Marianne just told Mike that she's got an extra vote. Oh, this is a long fallout before the first commercial break. Are we going to get the challenge in before? So Marianne and Mike are just talking, saying that Marianne needs some time to think about it. Yeah, because for the longest time it was going to be down between Marianne and Romeo that were going to be on the chopping block for the longest time, but everybody's kind of moved away from that now to look at who are the threats in the game.
It's like what's me go next.
So now Marianne is selling Mike out to Omer. Marianne hates Jonathan. She might use her extra vote, says. Yeah, Lindsay's saying that Jonathan's a threat to win challenges, but he hasn't done anything big in the game. He tried to do something strategic, but people reward people who make big strikes, and Omar did a big strike. He did a big play to get rid of Drea, to get rid of High. Omar's been playing all the games.
What's going on? No, I'm just talking about with the vote last night.
So now
see it, but they're working together very closely.
Yeah, so Jonathan's just saying that he sees that Omar and Lindsay are working well. And what I like about this season, so far at least, other than that one tribal council, is there's no animosity in between the people. This is fair gameplay, right? So Jonathan's just saying it's time to break up, and we are going to get the challenge in before the, or is this going to be a reward challenge before the first commercial break? Yeah, must be a reward challenge.
Today's reward challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like it when we have reward challenges and immunity challenges. Okay, so they got to solve that block puzzle. We've seen that many times. Yeah.
Today
what are we
you're
playing
in
for?
charge. You will have a choice. You can choose sustenance, grilled
Food.
chocolate cake, and cookies, which
Oh. Yeah, the sugar is not going to do you any favors, though, because you go up like this and go down. I'd get the chicken and vegetables, because that's protein.
or reward. Survivors ready.
Who's going to win this one? Is it going to be Jonathan? Yeah, I don't handle that very well. I'm getting dizzy looking at them. Yeah. Apparently what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put your vision on one spot on the horizon and make sure that you look at that one spot each time you come around. But yeah, I'd be... Lindsay's out in front. So history says that it's going to be either Lindsay or Jonathan that wins because they've been winning challenges. Marianne's trying to unspin. That's only going to make it worse. Ooh. So they got to untie keys. Oh, that's smart. Lindsay's using the rope. Jonathan in the lead, starting the puzzle. This will be a good boost for Jonathan if he can win, because he was talking last episode about having the calorie deficit. So Omer just got across. Romeo's across. Mike is across. The only one there is Marianne's across. So they're all on the puzzle. A compass rose. Now, I myself am fairly good at puzzles, so I'd be curious to see how I would fare at doing something like this. Because I don't need to put it together to see how it goes together. My brain just kind of seems to see it before I even do it, kind of thing. So people are struggling. Marianne coming from behind? Wow.
Wrong. There's something wrong.
Oh, she's majorly wrong, though. She had a piece on the bottom that was not right. And Omer. Okay. Yeah, looks like it's going to be Omer.
Jeff, Omer thinks he has it. How confident are you? Omer wins!
No!
Nice job, Omer.
Omer wins. Mike was like, I finally got it too. But then you see his thing and it's like, he's got like one layer on it. Omer pulled it out. Huh. So you're going to be able to bring along somebody. Who's he going to bring along? If he brings Lindsay, that's not going to look good.
Nah. Okay, so Hannah, you're 8, and there are millions of.
So Omer was doing it to inspire family. Cool. I like that.
Sustenance, which is grilled chicken and veggies, or
Yeah.
if you want
I take the chicken and veggies.
with grilled chicken and veggies includes 2 players. Okay.
Ooh, so the chocolate has 3 people. Chicken only has 2.
So I think I'm gonna give to more people.
So he wants chocolate. Okay. 3 people. Huh, so he's taking Romeo, which really isn't Marianne. And he's probably going to take Lindsay. So, that's interesting that he would pick Mike. I thought he was going to pick Lindsay and leave Mike and Jonathan there. Now, not too much is going to happen in between here. They're just going to talk strategy. But now it's going to leave Lindsay and Jonathan, who are not working well together, to talk by themselves. Will Jonathan knows that Lindsay's working with Omer, though, so he can't really talk about that aspect. He'll have to put in like a smoke screen. So that's the first commercial break. That was a long commercial, long 14 minutes. In that's the first commercial break, guys. Reward. Look at that cake. I wouldn't want it, because you get a headache from it too. Your body is not without sugar for that long. I'm more curious in what's the strategy that's going to come out from this. Like, Omer's probably going to try to pitch that these should be the final 4.
Lindsay chose me for the other one, but I was like, I'm just trying to be fair.
So Omer's thinking that if he didn't feed Jonathan, then he might be able to beat him in a challenge.
Yeah, I'm not bitter at all.
For Rice, we are obviously trying to fool each other.
So, okay. So Jonathan is saying that Mike is the plan to blindside. So it's kind of like a battle of wits there between Jonathan and Lindsay. Not to reveal too much information.
It's great because people actually want Jonathan out first.
Yeah, we know that, Lindsay. Yeah, so it's down between Mike and Jonathan. Our Glass Vikings in the live chat says they are all going to crash after that sugar rush. Yeah, exactly. And that's what would give you a headache. I couldn't stand it. I'd say no. Because your body would use that energy so fast. Yeah. But this is weird that Lindsay's telling Mike that he's the big threat after Jonathan. Yeah, I could see them going Jonathan and then Mike, and then they would be the final 4. How could you not see that?
Lindsay has an idol. When Drea went out, hug and
So they're trying to use the fact that if somebody is an idol to turn that against them to make them feel like they got strength. So Mike's telling that to Jonathan. And yeah. Yeah. So Mike is trying to corral Jonathan and Marianne. And he's saying that same old strategy of, well, if they get me out, then they're going to come for you next. Put that seed of doubt in her mind. And you see how Romeo's just nobody's talking about Romeo anymore. They complained about him eating all the food and not doing any work around. They know Romeo's just that person that you bring to the final council so that they say, well, what did you do to win this game? Romeo hasn't done anything. Yeah, and it's all jockeying for power now.
Which we have to talk about.
Yeah. So Marianne's just learning that Lindsay has that idol. And that's a very interesting kind of deliberation. It gave us some information there that Marianne was close with Lindsay, and she didn't know that Lindsay didn't tell her about that idol. So it's on Marianne. She's not going to be a goat to be herded. And that second commercial break. And now we get to the immunity with the steps. And we've seen this quite a bit in Survivor over the years. I guess that's one advantage of that's one advantage of having it shot in the same location now, is that they can build big things like this. And it's not hard on the environment, right? Jonathan relinquishes it, but he says it's coming back.
And immunity is back up for grabs.
So oh, these balance games are really tough. You see that? What do they used to call those? Like Labyrinth, where you got to navigate the ball through the maze. But it's kind of like there's no walls to trap it in. This is tough. Yeah, big stakes. Who am I betting on? I'm hoping Jonathan or Mike. That's what I want. But
5. Survivors ready. Go!
I'm thinking, for some reason, I think Marianne might win it too, for some reason. Okay, so now they got to untie the steps. Jonathan's out in the lead. Jungle Ninja Warrior, Hourglass Viking says, yeah. Well, they won't have the stamina to do any of the Sasuke. I like those endurance things where you got to climb the walls of ropes and stuff like that. Okay, so they got to build these steps. Lindsay's in the lead. That's not a good sign. So she'll have 2 immunities. Basically, if Lindsay wins that, she'll have two idols that she'll be immune herself, but then she'll have that idol that has to be played. And she might use it for Omer for some weird reason why I don't know why she would. Because I don't think Lindsay could beat Omer in Final Council. So Omer's in the lead now. He's got all the pieces at least. Again, Omer with the puzzles. We're getting a lot more puzzles, I guess, in this later season. Or at least in this episode, it's been both puzzles. And Jonathan's not good at puzzles. And Lindsay gets to the top just like that. Okay, so he's in behind. He's in last place, right? Jonathan? Oh no, Romeo is in the last place. But as I said before, Romeo doesn't need to worry. Okay, so Jonathan and Mike are on top. 4 people on the table maze. Just go slow. Just go slow. Just go slow. Ooh, she drops. Yeah, you gotta go slow. Figure it out. Figure out the nuance of how sensitive it is. And he got his first one.
When she has it, now it's
And
Lindsay
now,
and Jonathan.
Lindsay and Jonathan. Romeo's up there. So everybody's on this last challenge. Go slow. Just go slow. That's all I can say. Oh, man. And Lindsay drops.
Jonathan makes it.
Jonathan makes it.
has one small section.
Come on, Jonathan. Come on, man. My hands are starting to sweat here. Oh, he dropped it. Ooh. Oh, so I guess Marianne's not going to win. So again, it's Lindsay and Jonathan, neck to neck. Huh.
Safely. There goes Lindsay. She's navigating.
Oh, Lindsay's close. Come on, Jonathan. Ah, Jonathan drops. And Lindsay wins. Yep.
Spot in the final five.
Wow. Wow, indeed. It got me. Like, at least Jonathan had a crack 2 times at it, but it sucks because it's pretty much given there that she's on board with Omer's plan to get rid of Jonathan. Unless Marianne steps up to save Jonathan and thwart Lindsay and Omer. Okay, so this is the last time Shot in the Dark can be used too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. So now we get into deliberation as to who's going to go home. And I don't think it's fairly obvious it's going to be Jonathan. Unless they try to blindside Mike.
Jonathan is this giant Goliath.
The number one thing I did not want to happen.
You want to taste?
Yeah. So is that the Hail Mary play to try to vote Romeo?
He didn't win today. Was
We
like
have to.
So now Marianne is playing along with it to get Jonathan. Romeo said that he was on the chopping block every tribal council, but he wasn't. He wasn't. That's why Drea's out before him. That's why even Roxroy went home before him. High went home before him. So they're trying to paint the narrative that this is the plan and everything seems to be working out fine, but they wouldn't have mentioned that Romeo might be the backdoor plan to try to get somebody other than Jonathan and Mike out. But it's really clear that that Lindsay and Omar are running the show. But for Lindsay, I don't understand why she thinks that she can beat Omar.
It's not a feeling that I want to have.
Flame on.
Yeah. Marianne sees that. She sees that Omar can win the whole thing. You got to... And Marianne's saying that she can use the vote that way that she wants to.
This is our time to take a risk.
So she wants to get Omar out, but they feel like Romeo doesn't have the idol, and nobody's suspecting to vote Romeo. But Marianne's right. They do need to do something between Lindsay and Omar. Yeah. So if Marianne, Jonathan, and Mike team up, that's 3. And if they use the extra vote to get Romeo, that will cut down Lindsay and Omar to 2. So it'll be 3 against 2. Think about that math, Lindsay. Think about that math. And now Marianne's talking to Romeo about it. Don't do that, Marianne.
I think I have Romeo on board.
But Romeo doesn't look...
And he's been very back and forth.
Yeah. So Jonathan's saying he doesn't trust.
Is it best we just go along with whatever they say to all of us, and we silently throw out?
Yeah. No, you're not getting it, Marianne, because he has an idol. But she's not doing the math in her head. Because... Okay, so she's saying that she's still got to make moves. So she's trying to make strategic moves. That was an interesting deliberation. That takes us from what? Now we're going to tribal council. Last commercial break. Last time that Shot in the Dark can be played, let's take a look at the jury. Yeah. See if I can get a... Oh, there's the jury. There's Drea.
A little bit of the fact that last tribal council was outrageous.
So it's raining there tonight. So you can see the boards look wet. I don't like the, yeah. I don't like the fact that people aren't doing the math. So Romeo's talking about people are thinking about who they want to sit next to in the final three.
Figuring out what are my best odds to feel the most comfortable in the final three.
There's High. Omer's saying that people on the jury didn't want to that people that are still in the game didn't want to play with people on the jury. What's that mean? That's, you want to appease the jury as much as you can, Omer.
Now I can think about the end game.
So Mike is saying that he lives his life on trust.
Read into Lindsay's answer. I mean,
Interesting. So there's 6 people. 4 to go home. 4 votes to go home. But these extra votes make it seem weird. Whoops. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. I apologize.
It's like, you don't know who's gonna play it. This is the last time we can play it.
So Marianne's talking about the shot in the dark. So Omer's just saying that he might be on the side of a blind side.
you're up.
So here we go to vote. Now it should be 4 votes to go home. But depending on how people vote. But at the minimum, I guess you can go home with 2, but it's not going to be split that way. I'm guessing Jonathan's going to go home. That's my guess.
If anybody has an advantage or an idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to.
Yep. Is Lindsay going to do it? Lindsay's not going to do it. So now, did they vote for Omer or did they get Jonathan? One Jonathan. One Romeo. 2 Jonathan. This will tell if there's another vote Romeo, it's going to be Romeo then, I think. Omer? What? Three votes, Omer. Omer's going. So Marianne did it. She did it. Omer did it. Marianne did it.
Voted out the 6th member of our jury. Omer.
Marianne did it. Marianne did it. She did it. Look at that smile. So she did it. She pulled off the big play. Marianne has to be happy with that. Marianne, if she's, ooh, she did it.
I was Survivor confident.
Yeah, because nobody could have beat Omer. And I like how everybody's saying I love you guys as they leave. Like, there's no animosity there. Even when Drea left, I like that. She said I love you guys too. So Marianne pulled it off. So nobody can play Shot in the Dark anymore. And Lindsay still would have an idol, right? No. No, that idol's done now. Whew. Wow. What an episode. That was a good episode. Let's see what's coming next week.
Scenes.
That didn't go down the way that I thought it was. I thought Lindsay and Omer were on the same page. Oh, so it's the season finale.
It's going to be a battle royale.
So Marianne wants Jonathan. Oh, one of those big maze challenges. Those are hard. Okay.
She got me good,
Oh, Omer's saying that
and
Marianne got
playing
me.
with her was like playing with
Yeah.
fire, and
Yeah. So Romeo, he held to his word though and beat and took down Omer. Romeo went with it. I thought Romeo would have sided with Lindsay and Omer, but didn't. That was a really good episode. Fantastic episode. Great season. So yeah, it is 12 episodes. I realigned the episode titles for my watch-alongs. I'll do that in the comment section below. So next week will be the finale, guys, which means it's going to be 3 hours next Thursday for me. And I'm sorry that you guys won't be able to get my initial reaction that night on Wednesday night, but it's just because the finale's 3 hours. I wouldn't be able to start recording it until about 11 o'clock at night, and then I would have to stay up to 2 a.m. Yeah, I can't do that, guys. Yeah, because I need to be able to transfer it onto my computer, and I don't have a capture card for that. I don't know. Maybe I should do a late night. I still think maybe next Thursday afternoon is the best time for me to do it. I think that's when we will do it. Good episode. So how's it going to play out? Lindsay's plans are up in the air now. But it's kind of put all 5 of them there on even playing ground. Because if Lindsay and Omar were not split up there, they would have decided who's going to come with them to the final 3. For sure. For sure. Bifer says in a live chat, idiots I can't believe that they let Jonathan waltz to the final 5. But Bifer, Jonathan hasn't done anything big. He hasn't done any big moves. Other than being big and being impressive to watch on the challenges. He's tried to make some strategic moves, but they just haven't translated well perceptually. Now, that big play from Marianne will put it in the eyes of the remaining 5 that she pulled that off. That was a huge move. That alone could let her win the $1 million. So now they got to play that game again of who's going to win that $1 million. Arglass Viking says, wow, well done, Marianne. That was. Congratulations, Marianne. She pulled it off. Because Mike and Jonathan weren't going along with their plans, but it was good that they did. I think that was like the backup plan, right? So if Lindsay did give the idol to Omar, if they were both safe, then Romeo would go home, and then Marianne would be able to fall back on the numbers game there that Jonathan, her, and Mike would vote out Lindsay and Omar back to back. But that's like I like thinking like this. I like thinking about, okay, if I do this, then that, and do I have the numbers to do that? That's why the outwit portion of Survivor comes into play, because as we saw today, it was down to the challenges. Jonathan was not in the lead for both the reward and, well, he started off in the lead for the reward and stuff, but when it's down to the puzzles and stuff, he's not in the lead for that stuff. But yeah, we'll have to see, because right now, out of the remaining people, Marianne and Lindsay, I think, still have the best chances to win the game now. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lindsay wins, if she can hold on and win a challenge. Because getting rid of Romeo and Jonathan, yeah. Actually, maybe you would want to have Romeo and Jonathan in the final 3 with you, because then you could say, well, what did they do to win the game, right? And then it'll be Lindsay, Marianne, and Mike chirping at each other to try to get one of them out so that they can get that ultimate prize, right? Final episode, though, next week, guys. That's okay, because as we know, next week, Obi-Wan starts and Stranger Things Season 4 starts. So there'll be series that we can watch on the channel for sure once this one wraps up. It's been a good season, and I like the fact that they've been all kind of nice to each other when they leave, because some seasons it's not like that. Was it Aubrey or not Aubrey? What's her something Anne? Something Anne. She was blonde and she was really mean-spirited. And when people were voted out, she would always kind of chirp at them, saying, you get what you get, kind of thing. Like, yeah, there's nothing like that in this season, which is good. I like that. It's just fun to watch. It's good entertainment. Bifer says, I want Marianne to win because she's a person of color. Well, yeah, there's some of that too there. But I think Mike is too, isn't he? And Romeo, I think, too. Arglass Viking says in the live chat, love the twists and turns in this episode. Great commentary, James. Looking forward to next week's finale. May the best person win. And that's the way I feel, too. May the best person win. Right now, I wouldn't be heartbroken with anybody winning. It would just be kind of like, really? Romeo wins? I don't understand that. What did he do? That's what I would be like. So we'll have to see next week, Thursday, 1:30 p.m., Survivor finale, full watch along, and yeah, be watching that for sure. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I'll see you next week for more Survivor. If you don't know, we do movie news here on this channel. We do trailer reactions, movie reviews, full series watch along just like this. We did Moon Knight recently. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff here in the future, and full movie watch alongs too as well. You'll find something you like here on Mirror Domains, and I'll see you next week for the season finale of Survivor Season 42.